Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're in the Sims 2 Bodyshop, and I'm going to show you guys some of the basics of this program. You can make your Sims, put them up for download, or create your items. I'll obviously talk you through both of these things. I do, of course, like always, want to put a disclaimer and say that this is, of course, from my own experience and that I do not claim to know it all, and some of these things may be self-explanatory. See what we should start with. I think I'm actually going to start with the custom content part because it is something I don't do very often, and I think that might be the trickier of the two. Let's go to the top part and start a new project. And there's obviously three choices you can add. I'm actually gonna go ahead and create genetics. Go ahead and I'm gonna pick the brown color for this tutorial. So we're gonna go ahead and click export selected textures. Now obviously this works exactly the same for all the twat. I wanted to write test, but apparently twat came out. It works the same for all three of the categories because if you're new to it, it could be a little confusing what to do and where to go. So I'm going to show you guys that we're in the documents, EA Games, The Sims 2 projects twat. Now we are in my folder. For me, it's in this PC documents, EA Games, Sims 2 projects. Everyone pretty much has the same location of your documents folder, so that should be no problem. And you also want to make sure that you have some program like Adobe Photoshop or any other program that can open. What I'm going to do is open a program that can open any of these files. So these are just basic picture files, and there is a package. Now this package is what the Sims uses to recognize it in your game, so you don't really want to do anything with this, but this is the things that, or these are the things that you want to pay attention to. So there's obviously three here. There is your swatch. So the swatch is basically what you want to recolor into, I guess, an example of what you want to make or what you have made, or perhaps just a color, just anything, so you can recognize that this is exactly or this is what you just made. I also just want to put a disclaimer, my screen is a little zoomed in because the Sims 2 Bodyshop is very small in size. Just to give you a quick example, if I were to size up this program, I'm using Sizer for this, then just go ahead and just quickly show you this. It looks a little funky, as you guys can see, so I'm just gonna keep it a little zoomed in, but that should obviously be no problem. Keep it like this, it's a little easier to see. It is basically your base texture, and I wouldn't say really do anything with this, just focus mainly on this file right here. So let me just click on it so you guys can see. This is basically what your file that you'll be working with looks like before you've done anything. So obviously I picked the brown eye color, and this is exactly what that looks like. Pretty cool, huh? This is basically what the textures in the game look like. The Sims eyes look like when they're not on your Sim in game, if that makes sense. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this file. So you can actually, like I said, do it in Photoshop. I even have Paint Tool Sci, which is a drawing program that opens these pretty well. You can even use Paint. However, Paint doesn't recolor very well, at least not as far as I remember back in the days that I still used Paint. So I'll advise you to either use Photoshop or something like a drawing program that's maybe even some online programs, just something that can recolor without necessarily needing to do much work with it, pretty much. Throw that out there because I know not everyone likes to use Photoshop, but basically just use whatever you feel like using. So how about we go ahead and select our little, what do you call that? Eye. Our little eye. And how about we pick a color? So how about we pick a color that's definitely really noticeable? How about we pick like a nice orange color? So I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in. I'm using Photoshop Elements, actually Adobe Photoshop Elements. And let's see what we're gonna do with that. So I'm just lowering the opacity right now. Actually, okay, obviously it's not very realistic, but let's be honest, that looks kind of cool though. I'll just give this a neon green color because I want to show you guys what happens when you know, mess with this. We can also make the outside of the eye, I guess, a different color, but I want to keep it semi-realistic, so we're not going to mess with that. But let's go ahead and save this file. So make sure you save it as a BMP, just like what this file is. and then you'll go ahead and save it in place of this file. So you don't want to make two, just replace this file. And what I've basically done is, while the program is running, which is really cool, you can use this program while it's running, you'll go ahead and replace the file, which I just did in Twat. And then what you want to do is go over here and click refresh preview sim, which I have done, and basically here are our new orange eyes. Pretty cool, right? You saw the green didn't really do anything. You definitely go ahead and Google an eye, cut out the eye, put the eye on top of this eye, and then work with it. That would definitely work. Head and say orange, and yeah, import that to game. Go ahead and pick something. So let's not pick something too hard. How about we pick something like this, right? Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to make a mohawk. That's kind of cool, but I think mohawks are like in the back somewhere. They're hidden. Oh, there it is. Okay, sport selected. So we're gonna name this hair. Now in the hair folder, and as you can see, hair has a lot of different textures. So how do you know which one to pick? So basically what you want to do is go ahead and open most of her, actually all of these matte base texture names. So that would look like this. These are just the matte textured, and I guess it might look a little overwhelming, but I'm going to show you guys just exactly what this all means. So don't you worry about it. So the hair is divided in little sections of textures, and depending on the hair, there's different layers of textures within that hair or within the folder. That makes sense. I'm hoping it makes sense. Need to adjust all the little bits of hair. These texture name BMPs you'll need to change in order for the hair to show up completely colored. But just to show you guys, or just to have an idea myself, like what part of the hair is, let's say we want to make, how about we make like one part of his hair green and then the other part like red, like something, you know? Or how about we just make this texture completely green and save that. So as you know, go back, make it a BMP, and then just remember which one you clicked. So this was the first one. Go ahead and save that, replace it, and then go back into your game. So then what we're gonna do is click the refresh preview sim. And it's loading, as you can pretty much. And I'm going to actually make the screen smaller because it's easier to see. So bear with me for just a second while I go back and minimize it to what it was. Because I feel like it's easier to tell what we just did. You guys can see the green is definitely showing up, but there is some brown around the edges. So I guess if we were to want to paint those as well, we would need to do some more layers. So let's go ahead and pick another one. And how about we color that maybe like red? All right, so we open this bad boy up and let's go ahead and make that a very vibrant red color. I think that really helps in seeing, well, what the heck we just did. And actually, let me see if there's a really vibrant color. How about that? I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and save that. And once again, remember which one you picked. And this was the third one. So there we go. Plop. And then let's go back and refresh the sim. And let's see what that did. When I see it, the first texture was the main big section of the hair. The red section, so the second section, was the edges and I guess the middle of the hair. Now obviously there's way more sections here, as you can see, and you'll just have to color them each a different color to understand exactly what it is and what it does. But definitely it helps in seeing, you know, what you're working with and knowing exactly what to color and what not. Even though it was a little chaotic, I hope this makes sense. You know, sometimes my English lets down a little, but clothing is a little different. I guess if you really want to make clothes, there is a whole different tutorial for that. How would we make this something else? Yeah, let's do this. Okay, and then we're gonna export this and call this clothes. Well, And don't forget to select where you want your clothing to appear, or your hair or your eyes, because if you don't, it's not going to show up. And if it does show up, it might not be in the right section. Like, who wants to wear this for swimming, for example, or to bed? You know, it might not be as comfortable as it would be for just whatever purpose it has. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and once again open that. So now we're gonna open a different project and we're gonna click with close. So let me actually bring it into the screen because I noticed it was like half out of there. Basically, this is your, I guess, your guideline. You can call it a guideline. And basically anything you do in here that is let's just show you guys. So let's go ahead. Let's say I want to make this part open, right? So anything in white is what you see in game, and anything that's black, I don't think you'll see it in the game. So let's go ahead, and I can't actually see what I'm doing, so let me bring you guys a little to the right so it's a little easier for me, and now it just doesn't want to be here in the screen. But let's say, how about we just put like a little heart here, right? So this is the back, little heart, and then in the front, let's do a smiley like this. I don't know if you can see it, but the back of her the back of her dress is now open. Basically, we didn't really, okay, hold up, just to show you, we didn't really color everything on this. I kind of forgot the bottom, so that's what you're seeing over here, but this is basically what we have done with the black and white version. So basically anything you do in there takes away something off the dress, and in this case a smiley and a heart. It's also quite cool to see just how big it's going to be. But let's say you really want to make this like separate or anything, you can basically go ahead and bring this black one up, and instead of having the heart and whatever, let's go ahead and make this black to disconnect this whole entire part. This is gonna look really funky. let's face this, it's going to look really weird, but I think you get the drill at least. So that's all that I really care about. All right guys, ready? Let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, let's go to the back. Refresh this. All right, so as you can see, we have erased some of the dress. You can see you can take things away, but the mesh or the structure of the dress is still very much intact. I just wanted to show you guys so that you guys can see that even though you can take away things, and if you want to take away things you can using the black and white, but if you want to add like colors and all of that, you definitely have to do that in the colored, the colored version. However, I do want to say, obviously the dress is not gonna look exactly how you want it to look. Basically, this is easier to recolor and to add your own textures. However, if you really want to make dresses and readjust the actual structure of the dress and make it a lot shorter or a lot different, then you'll need a separate program for that is without which is not within the Sims 2 Bodyshop. So I just pulled up on another website that really talks about this, so it's easier to probably read this. I'll have a link to it, but for example, you'll need the Sims PE, and then you have to open that, and it talks you through like all the things you have to do. You will find in this tutorial, because this is a tutorial on how to use the Bodyshop, but if there's a lot of requests, I guess I could look into it and make a tutorial. But there's also plenty on YouTube, not necessarily on YouTube, but on Google. So I'll have a link if I can find it down below, exactly how to create actual clothes, like create them instead of recoloring or adding textures. But you'll definitely require a different program than just this. I think I had a program, but I don't remember it. Okay. This is the last part of this tutorial, in which I'm going to explain to you the principles of building, cloning Sims, and packaging Sims. So let's start with building and cloning. I think it kind of speaks for itself, but certain things are just very self-explanatory. So basically what you want to do is go ahead and select a thing or two. Select what you want to do. So either you go ahead and build your sim, or you're going to clone a selected sim. So let me show you first how to clone a sim. It's very easy. You click on this sim or any sim by choice, click on clone sim, just click. You can either change them or just click done building, and it'll just pop up another version of this girl. So another version of this girl popped up. If you're like, I don't really like it, go ahead and once again go to the trash can and delete that bitch. And then if you of course want to go ahead and build a sim, you can do that too. Now I talked about this in my first video in which I explained to you the principles of cast. You can randomize your sim, click their body types, change their genders. Here you can actually do change or select a young adult, so that's pretty cool. And you can either select female or male. In the first tab you'll find the genetics, skin tones, eye colors, and hair, everything you have installed in your game as custom content. And non-custom content will appear here. So here's the skins that I had in the first video and some of the eyes. And look how many. The Sims 2 Bodyshop offers just so much variety that the Sims 2 cast is like literally nothing compared to this. And this is why I like to use this sometimes when I really want to make like particular characters and I can't really customize it as much as I like to in the normal, you know, cast. Here under modifiers you do find the sliders that are in your game itself. So the ears, some of the custom downloaded ones we have, but pretty much the ones that are in your game will appear here as well. And I have this one, which really isn't anything, so might as well just delete it, right? And then as for clothes, oh, here's the dress that we made. There you go. So this is what it looks like. And yeah, because we did take away the, you know, technically there's nothing here, even though the mesh is still kind of messed. You can see her butt cheeks, so that's nice, right? If you want to have a dress that looks like you're not wearing anything but you are, there's her butt. You can see your butt cheeks pretty much. All right, and let's say this is what we want. This is our sim. We're gonna in your game. Pretty much all you have to do is go here to the sims that you build and then click on package sim to file. This doesn't work in like, you know, over 10 years, so I highly doubt that still works. But you want to click on this package sim to file, and we're just gonna color whatever 222. Click on accept, and then your file was saved to your desktop as a Sims 2 pack. And then we're gonna close the Sims 2 Bodyshop because we cannot open the Sims without, you know, closing this program. So you might be familiar with this kind of package on that and install it, and that's all you really have to do. There are certain types of files that if this was this, you would put it in your downloads, but since it's a file like this, you will need to double click on it in order for it to appear in your game. All right, and let's go back into our game to show you that it indeed worked. Feels nice to have a full screen again. So as you guys can see, don't judge me, I still haven't fixed the background issue. However, we're not here to judge that and talk about it, even though I just did, so let's ignore it, even though I just addressed it. Oh, it's too late for my brain. So what you want to do is go over to your existing sims, and then here is your bitch, okay? So pretty much what she looks like. I think she looks pretty fine, as you can see. But yeah, if you go ahead and pretty much like package her, she'll just appear here. And if there's two of her, which there is for some reason, you can just like go ahead and just delete one. It doesn't really matter, honestly. And then you can go ahead and just customize her, you know, to your likings. You can change her hair if you really want to, or change more of her eye color. Or oh, here's our eye color, for example. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, we did this. We did this, bitches. You know what? I might actually just make my own like max pack of like base game compatible eye colors. Like just 10, not a bit big, but like maybe just like a GB, 1 GB full of. I probably shouldn't talk about this right now. This is a tutorial. Of course, dress, I guess we're already wearing it, but if you want to go ahead and, you know, select it on another sim. There it is. And I think, oh wait, we have a mohawk though. We changed our mohawk. I wonder if that's saved. It might be in here. Yeah, here it is. This is our mohawk. So aren't we, I mean, come on guys. I don't want to say much, but our dress definitely matches our hair, and our eyes are pretty cool. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Leave a comment down below if there's any more questions. Like always, I feel free to do that. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm always up for helping you guys any further and messing around with making my own custom content right now. I'm not exactly sure why, but I just do. So I might just do that for no reason. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be about, I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned if you want to know. Anyway guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.